So the faction rally will be returning to Destiny 2 in early November, and in this video I figured we'd jump in and take a look at all of the featured weapons that will be available in this second faction rally. So these weapons are visible in the database, and I'm using Destiny Tracker to actually take a look at them. We're going to check out the perks and the roles on these weapons. There are some pretty awesome weapons in there. It's worth me noting that a few of the previous faction rally weapons, things like True Prophecy from FWC, don't look like they will be available in this second faction rally, but these events do kind of have a rotating stock over a period of time, so they will come up again. But let's jump in and take a look at the featured weapons for the November rally. So the three weapons available for the winning faction would include the Timeline's Vertex for FWC. It's a pretty cool looking fusion rifle, and FWC have been well known for their fusion rifles in the past. The Timeline's Vertex is an adaptive frame fusion rifle. We have a charge time of 660 and an impact of 70, so the closest fusion rifle I know of would be the Nox Echo 3. It's definitely a kind of mid-impact range of fusion rifle, but in the sights we have Spark PS as well as Torch HS3. Up next, Enhanced Battery, which increases magazine size, Accelerated Coils, which speeds up your charge time and decreases your impact a little bit, and finally Snapshot Sights. Overall, the stats on this thing seem pretty decent. You've got some good bonuses to up your mag size or decrease the charge time, and then Snapshot is going to be pretty good, especially inside of the Crucible, and it'll be interesting to see how this fusion rifle stacks up against the previous FWC fusion rifles we've seen. But New Monarchy up next will have a sword featured in this faction rally, which is a pretty cool looking weapon. It's an adaptive frame sword, so you can use the uppercut attack. We have Tempered Edge for increased sword damage and ammo, or Jagged Edge for increased damage at the cost of sword ammo. Up next, Burst Guard, low efficiency and high defense, or Enduring Guard, high efficiency and low defense, and finally On Guard, quick attacks immediately after swapping to this sword do additional damage. So it's definitely going to be nice to get another legendary sword in the game, and it's cool that it's unique to New Monarchy as well. The final featured weapon will be the Truthteller grenade launcher, and this comes from Dead Orbit. It's a lightweight frame launcher. We have confined launch, linear compensator, and hard launch, concussion grenades, which have a blast that staggers enemies, black powder for increased blast radius, and finally quick draw. So the perks for this thing sound okay, although grenade launchers aren't necessarily the best weapons in the game. They don't see a ton of use. If you ask me, I would be going for the fusion rifle this time around, but I also think it's pretty cool New Monarchy has the sword. It definitely, however, seems that they've given Dead Orbit the grenade launcher to try and give one of those other factions a better chance of winning. There'll also be another bunch of weapons available from each faction, which you can get randomly inside of packages. So from Future War Cult, we have the Heart of Time. This is the pulse rifle that was featured in the previous faction rally, but unfortunately was never won. It's a rapid fire frame archetype of pulse rifle, so the highest rate of fire. We've got Candle PS as well as Impulse MS3 in the sights. Steady rounds, the magazine is optimized for recoil control, which increases stability, slightly decreases range. We also have Tactical Mag for multiple tactical improvements. And finally, Dragonfly, precision kills create an elemental damage explosion. So it's a pretty cool looking pulse rifle. It's one of a small number of pulse rifles in this archetype. Also coming with Dragonfly and a bunch of stability bonuses makes it pretty exciting and pretty interesting for both PvE and PvP content alike. Also from FWC, we'll have Stochastic Variable, the SMG. It's a lightweight frame and 900 rounds per minute. We've got Candle PS, Torch HS3, high caliber rounds, accurized rounds, or phase magazine. And finally we have Tap the Trigger, grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on initial trigger pull. 900 round per minute SMGs aren't my favorite in the game, although you do have a very good selection here. High caliber rounds is going to make it that little bit more devastating and difficult to fight against. Accurized rounds will increase your range, which is always really good as well. And phase damage is a pretty interesting bonus. It's going to bring this SMG closer to things like Antiope by reducing rate of fire but increasing the damage, and having increased stability and accuracy will be pretty beneficial, so this could be a pretty good SMG. We have the grenade launcher, the Memory Interdict. Again, grenade launchers aren't the most thrilling weapons, but it's adaptive frame, confined launch, countermass, and hard launch right there. We have implosion rounds. The weapon projectiles travel faster and have a controlled explosion. We also have remote detonation, fires a slower grenade projectile that bounces and detonates on trigger release, and finally Rampage. So overall, it will be an interesting grenade launcher. Rampage could be fairly interesting if you're in a situation with an absolute ton of mobs in PvE or something. Slightly more exciting would be Enigmas Draw, which is the FWC sidearm. It has precision frame, so 260 rounds per minute, control SAS, tactic SAS, and target SAS. We've got high caliber rounds, which is going to be pretty interesting on a sidearm, as well as accurized rounds to increase that range, also very beneficial. And finally Zen Moment, which increases your weapon stability as you cause damage. On the whole, it's a very good roll of this sidearm, but Dead Orbit does have a couple of interesting weapons in their inventory. So we have Escape Velocity, a pretty unique looking SMG right there. Lightweight frame once again, so 900 rounds per minute. IS-2 Classic as well as IS-5 Circle. We have high caliber rounds and then steady rounds where the mag is optimized for recoil control, and finally Grave Robber, melee kills reload a portion of the magazine. Once again, this could be a pretty interesting SMG in this archetype. You can either go with high cal or increased stability and reduced recoil, and then Grave Robber, where melee kills reload a portion of the mag, could be pretty fun for PvP, especially dealing with multiple targets in close range. Another pretty exciting weapon from Dead Orbit would be the Guiding Star auto rifle. So this one's 720 rounds per minute. I believe that's the same as the Scavelock archetype. You've got IS-2 Classic as well as Model 8 red sights. We have appended mag to increase the magazine size, or we have high caliber rounds, once again, can be a little bit more obnoxious in the Crucible, and finally moving target, increased movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. So this thing can come with a really high magazine size or high caliber rounds, which will make it that bit more obnoxious to fight against, and then moving target is really nice bonus as well, allowing you to just strafe a little bit more, and I think this will be one of the standout weapons from the factions going forward. But Dead Orbit also has the Contingency Plan, which is a Viced scout rifle. It comes with Viced rapid fire, so it is a full auto high rate of fire scout rifle. We've got small bore, extended barrel, as well as corkscrew rifling. Up next, appended magazine, so increased magazine size, accurized rounds to fire longer distances, and finally auto-loading holster. So auto-loading holster is going to automatically reload the weapon after a short period of time when it's actually stowed. Accurized rounds to fire longer distances probably won't benefit a scout rifle too much. Range bonuses generally aren't the neatest thing for scout rifles, but appended magazine combined with auto-loading holster is going to mean you've got a bunch of ammo, and it auto-reloads when it's holstered, so it's going to be a pretty nice scout. For New Monarchy, we'll see the debut of the older sister 3-hand cannon. Now this is adaptive frame, so it's 140 rounds per minute in the kind of general archetype, the same as Better Devils, so it's going to be pretty cool. We've got hit mark as well as steady hand and crossfire HCS. We have alloy magazine, faster reloads when the mag is empty, armor piercing rounds which over penetrate combatant shields, and then we have ambitious assassin, overflows the magazine based on the number of rapid kills before reloading, and it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against the raid hand cannon, considering they both have ambitious assassin. Also from New Monarchy though, you'll have the Maxim 11 sniper rifle. It's adaptive frame, so 90 rounds per minute, 70 impact. We've got SSO-05 sniper, SSO-07 sniper, and SSO-08 sniper. Alloy magazine, faster reloads when the mag is empty. Flared magwell, optimized for fast reloading, which also slightly increases stability while greatly increasing reload, and snapshot sights. I'm not actually that familiar with these new Soros weapon scopes for the snipers, but with a magazine of 4, you have 2 different options for faster reloads, so that's pretty nice, as well as snapshot sights, so it's going to feel pretty snappy to use, and I think it could be a decent sniper rifle. Finally, we have the good Counsel 9, which is a New Monarchy scout rifle. It is high impact frame, so 150 rounds per minute once again. We have SD thermal as well as LC ranged, armor piercing rounds, we have tactical mag for multiple tactical improvements, and then hip fire grip. Now overall, the low rate of fire scout rifles in the game are just not very exciting. They don't find themselves performing, too well in any situation. Most 180 round per minute scouts will be better. It's unfortunate that this has hip fire as well, a pretty pointless bonus. You're not likely to be hip firing scout rifle like this. It's a very long range weapon. Otherwise, the roll isn't particularly bad, it's just not the best archetype currently in the game. Either way, that summarizes the new faction rally weapons coming for the November faction rally, guys. There are definitely 2 or 3 from Future Warcult which look really good, a couple from Dead Orbit which are pretty standout as well, and I think combined with the featured New Monarchy sword, their inventory is going to be pretty interesting, so I'll be curious to hear which faction are you going to pledge to this time, guys, from what you're seeing so far. I think a lot of people definitely want to beat Dead Orbit, whether they're FWC or New Monarchy. They just want to get that win this time around, and I think the weapon choices are definitely going to support that. But I hope you have enjoyed this preview of the upcoming faction weapons, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see more Destiny 2 content. But for now, thanks for watching and have an awesome day.